Today, I'm going to be sharing with you our hand-picked match prediction events based on the Premier League round 5 of this tournament. And to those of you who want to be having early access to all our game pick match predictions 4 to 5 days ahead of time so that you see what are from the inside, as well as our top picks, 1.5 and 2.5 goal match pick predictions based on our top 15 list or top 10 list of match prediction we provide to members only. Then of course you want to make sure to become a member of the level 2 pro plan and start to have access to all of these features to take your winning to the next level. We also provide game predictions on our top list based on corner kicks, which we share to members only, as well as straight win match prediction events. All of these features are being provided to members only, so you want to make sure to join to also become a member and start to have access to all of these features to take your winning to the next level. The link is below this video. To those of you who are interested to join, you want to make sure to go ahead to click on the link, navigate and join to become a member of the level 2 pro plan so that you can have access on all of these features we have mentioned. So without wasting time, I'm going to begin with the first event of our today's pick based on this Premier League round 5. So looking at the first event here, we're looking at the match between Fulham against Newcastle United. First, I want to share with you the form of these two based on the home and away performance. I want to look at the home team, which is Fulham. You're going to see that they sit on the fifth position of the league table. Having played 2 games recently, they have had 3 goals scored and 2 goals conceded. Its opponent, on the other hand, which is Newcastle, sits on the 10th position. Having played 2 events, they have also had 3 goals scored and 2 goals conceded. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks in this event in full time. First, I want to look at the last 2 head-to-head events recently this same year, which these 2 teams met. First of all, I want to look at the last head-to-head between Fulham and Newcastle in the month of April. First, Newcastle actually played at away and Fulham at home. The result of these or of that particular event resulted to a lot of corner kicks event. While Fulham had a total of 14 corners, its opponent on the other hand had a total of 3 corners, which resulted to 17 corner kicks in full time. This was as a result of too many shots on and off target by both sides, leading to blocks of these shots, resulting to deflection of the ball from the goal point area and leading to a lot of corners. This time, taking you to the other event between these two, which they still met this same year. In the month of January, these 2 teams still met. And Fulham still played at home and Newcastle at away. It resulted to a total of 10 corner kicks for Fulham and 5 corners for Newcastle. They were still very good in terms of corners. And what I looked at was the possibility of too much strike off target and also resulting to the block of shoot and also on target, which was also being blocked, resulting to more corners. This time, these 2 are still coming, and looking at the recent event being had by Fulham recently on the 2 events they have had, they have also shown the possibility of more corners in the recent 2 events they have had. They have had the game against West Ham recently, and they had a total of 3 corners, but of course know that West Ham is also a very stubborn team. They have also recently had a game against Ipswich and having a total of 6 corners. Its opponent, on the other hand, which is Newcastle, have also had recent events recently and resulted also to corner kicks more. Newcastle, of course, have had a game against Wolves and resulted in a total of 7 corners for Newcastle alone. They also had a game against Tottenham recently and they still had 7 corner kicks alone based on the match result end for Newcastle alone. So having 7 and 7 corner for the 2 events singly for the games they have played recently, it also shows high possibility of corners. And everything being put in place, we want to look at 2 major picks here, or 3. We are looking at 1, 6.5 corners in full time. Secondly, 7.5 corners in full time. And thirdly, 8.5 corner kicks. So for this particular event, we are looking at 3 corner kick possibility. 6.5, 7.5, and 8.5 corner kicks for this event in full time. In the next event, we are looking at Aston Villa against Wolves. For this event, the performance of Aston Villa based on recent events they have had especially the recent two games, as you can see here, prove that they are good in terms of goal scoring. Against Everton, 3-2, Leicester, 2-1. The opponent, Wolves, on the other hand, have proved that they concede more, as you can see, even though they are average. Looking at the form of these two, based on the stance and comparing these two teams based on the goal score rate, the number of goals scored per matches played, you're going to see that for Aston Villa at home, the sit here on the 9th position. Having played 2 games recently, they have had 1 win, 3 goals scored, and 4 conceded. Its opponent, on the other hand, being on away, have had a total of 2 events, and they have conceded 3 goals. And everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, of course, Aston Villa have proved to score between 1 to 2 goals per each event. Its opponent also, on the other hand, shows that they are very conceding. And Aston Villa will want to take that conceding power of its opponent. The last head-to-head between these two also resulted in a total of at least 2 goals in full time, while Aston Villa lead for this same year. This time, they are still coming to meet, and in this 5th round, both of these two want to impress. As a result, we want to look at least 1.5 goals to occur in this match in full time. Looking at the next pick here, we are looking at Brighton against Nottingham Forest. For this event, I will share with you the stand performance of these two based on form. And looking here at form, Brighton, which is the home team, have proved that they sit on the 6th position. And having played 2 events, they have had 1 win, scoring 2 goals and conceding 1. Its opponent, being at away, sits on the 7th, that is on the 6th position. Having played 2 events, they have had 2 wins, 2 goals scored, and they have not yet conceded any. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at 2 to 3 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, the performance of these two, they want to impress since this tournament is just starting. And looking at Brighton, based on recent events they have always tried to see how they can hold possession with a greater shoot on and off target. Its opponent, on the other hand, also tried to have a lot of shots off target, which are being blocked and deflected, resulting to corners. Looking at the last head-to-head, which these two met this same year, in the month of March, Brighton played at home and its opponent at away. The possession of Brighton was very great, and they had a very high shoot on and off target. These shots were being blocked, resulting by a lot of corner kicks. They had a total of 6 corners for that particular event, while its opponent, Nottingham, had 3 corners. This time, of course, these two are still coming to meet. And based on recent play by Brighton, they have also showed high possession, shoot and off target, on and off target. Its opponent, on the other hand, proved to show almost the same, so we still want to look at corner kicks here. The possibility of 6.5 corners is one of our options. 7.5 corners is also the next option we want to look at for this event in full time, since both of these two teams have shown the probability of having great corner kicks. Looking at the next here, we're looking at Man City against Arsenal. Here, based on the form, you're going to see that these two teams are on the 1st and 2nd position of the league table. These are two teams of very great strength, and having Man City on the 1st position, they have had 4 events, having all the 4 wins recently, and of course 11 goals have been scored and 3 conceded. Arsenal, on the other hand, have played 4 with 3 wins, 6 goals scored and 1 conceded. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, both of these two teams have shown to have a very great defensive power. And the strike rate also based on offense is very high. And looking at this, first, I want to look at the last head-to-head which these two teams met. Looking at this, based on the last head-to-head, of course, there were also the possibility of very high strike, especially off target instead of on target. This is due to the possibility of the high offense and resulting to more of these shoots, and most of the shoots were off target, and blocks of shoots also occurred. Since these two teams have shown a greater possibility of corner kicks, especially for Man City having a greater possession, their shoot on target was very high in the last head-to-head they meet, leading to more corners in terms of the home team. And since Man City has always tried to maintain high level of corner kick events based on the recent game they have had, as well as the last head-to-head against Arsenal, we still want to look at the home team, which is Man City, to have at least over 2 or over 3 corners for this event in full time. So we want to look at the possibility of Man City to score over 3 corner kicks or 4 corner kicks for this event in full time for Man City alone as a single team. So we are looking at Man City over 3 corners in full time. Looking at the next, we are looking at a match between Tottenham against Brentford. For this particular event, first I want to share with you the form based on Tottenham and Brentford based on recent events they have had. And looking at these two, you can see that Brentford sits on the 9th position. Having played 4 events, they have had 2 wins, 6 goals scored, 6 conceded. Tottenham, on the other hand, also have had 4 events with 1 win, 6 goals scored, and 4 conceded. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, of course, we want to look at Tottenham, of course, to have the possibility of more corners. But before we move to Tottenham having corner kicks more or to win in corner for this event, I want to highlight the key point based on recent event they have had. They have showed a high possession of corner based on recent event they have had, and their probability in ball possession has been great, with more shots off target and few on target, resulting to blocks and corner kick deflection has been more. And now, looking at the last head-to-head which these two teams met in the month of January, Tottenham still play at home and Brentford at away. The result of these lead Tottenham to have more possession and more shoot on target, more as compared to that of Brentford. It resulted for Tottenham to have 5 corners and its opponent 3 corners. This time, of course, Tottenham still have a good possession and strike off and on target is still very great. Having more of this possession and more shoot and off target, we want to look at the possibility of Tottenham to either lead or giving it a double chance in full time. We also want to look at Tottenham to have over 2 corners or 2.5 corners for this event in full time. That's 3 corner kicks for Tottenham alone as a single team. So we are looking at 2 major picks here. Either we go for Tottenham to draw, no bet, or give it a double chance, or the possibility of at least Tottenham to have 3 corner kicks in this event in full time. Our next event is going to be a match between Liverpool against Bournemouth. And here we are looking at the stand table, sharing its form with you based on recent events they have had. And looking at these are 2 teams, Liverpool on the 4th position, having played 4 events, they have had 3 wins, 7 goals scored, and 1 goal conceded. Its opponent, on the other hand, Bournemouth, is average, and having played 4 events, they have had 1 win, 5 goals scored, and 5 goals conceded. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. Of course, Liverpool have proved to have a very great defense, and the offense is also good, leading to more possession in terms of the recent game they have had, and as well as the last head-to-head between these two. Brentford also, on the other hand, is good, especially in terms of corners, because the possession based on the number of shots off target is very, very high, which resulted to deflection and more corners as well. And to conclude with this, these are 2 teams which are good in terms of corners. So looking at the probability of corner kicks is the most great event for this play. So want to look at 6.5, 7.5, and even 8.5 corner kicks to occur in this event in full time. These are our major picks. And to those of you who want to be accessing all our hand-picked match prediction events based on top list of straight wins, top list of 1.5 and 2.5 goal match picks, top wins based on corner kicks and other events, then of course you want to make sure that you become a member of the Level 2 Pro plan to start having access to all of these features as well as early access to all our game picks so that you can take your winning to the next level. Then of course you want to make sure to click the link below this video, join to become a member and start to access all of these features to take your winning to the next level. Good luck and see you again in the next upload, and bye bye for now.